Good day, everybody. Hey, I knew you were going to show up. Thanks for stopping by. You said you would, and here you are. You thought about it, and now you did it. So if you feel also inclined to go a bit further, do that thumbs up and, like, and that's a thumbs up, isn't it? Like, anyway, do all the stuff. I don't think I need to repeat it here because if you've been watching YouTube, you have a clear idea as to what to do. So go ahead and do it. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about, the marriage of psychology and knitting. So I'm going to talk about the wrinkles. No, not senior wrinkles. No, not those ones. Maybe on another day. Also, little known fact. I used to have long hair. I've always loved and enjoyed hair. And in November, honestly, after, the shots and the boosters and all the stuff that we needed for COVID, which I did, I ended up getting COVID, much to my surprise. But it was so mild, I hardly even knew I had it. And I had it for about maybe 5 days, and then it was over. So, but then a consequence, apparently, of getting the COVID was that my hair fell out. It was coming out. I couldn't do this without getting handfuls of hair. And at first I was very concerned because I honestly thought, I'm going bald. That's it. My mom had a genetic condition that she went bald around 70. I'm 68. So I thought maybe I had the genetic factor. But I ran into my doctor's friend, and she asked about COVID because she commented on my haircut. And she said, did you have COVID? And I said, yes. And she said that, one of the after effects can be losing your hair. So I think these shorter pieces are not cut. They're actually regrowth. I think it's growing back. But in the process also, I used to color my hair, and I'm not sure I'm going to do that now. I'm just like, ugh. Anyway, okay. Senior choices and decisions. We have a lot of them. And in this video, I'm going to share some of the knitting, of course, and wrinkles. Wrinkles in knitting, wrinkles in life. Okay? So, enjoy, and don't forget all the stuff. Journal notes for your benefit and mine. I had some wool. That's not new news. I had some wool that wrinkles and crinkles and it's wavy. Well, it only gets that way after I've deliberately manipulated it into some shape and form, and then decide that I don't like that shape, or there's too many mistakes, or I don't like the design. So I pull the garment apart. I pull out all the wool. What am I left with? Wrinkled wool. I can knit with that wool as it is, all wrinkled. However, the tension will not be smooth. Tiny irregularities will show up in the garment. And I'm wearing that now. Tiny irregularities, little holes and little waves in the wool design. Oh, there's even more down here. Look at this. Anyways, okay. So this is my blue tank top made with merino wool and silk. So it's, I think it's like 75 merino, 25 silk. And I love it. It's soft. It's very, very comfortable. I just feel like, what was I ever doing wearing something that was synthetic? Okay, so this blue tank top made with merino and silk yarn was made in part, the top portion was made with wrinkled wool. Now, I'm keeping the sweater as it is because it's a reminder of mistakes and how I learned. I learned techniques. It's a reminder that wrinkles do occur. Yeah, in this life we will have trouble. And it's a reminder that sometimes we can go the extra mile to smooth out the wrinkles, or we can choose to move forward in spite of the wrinkles. So that's what our life is like. Sometimes we want to go back and iron out the wrinkles, make amends, change whatever we can. Or sometimes we just have to move forward and say, "What, these wrinkles are there. That's it. Let me go back to my notes." The sweater, as it is, this one here, is also a reminder that not everything will be smooth, but we can still survive, manage our life as it is. Think about that. We, or I, can still gain the benefits of warmth and comfort, which is true. I'm still enjoying just the comfort, and don't know so much about the warmth because this tank talk's not about warmth. The test will be in the summer, but I think with our Ontario Canadian weather summers, I think it's going to be perfect. And I chose the merino and the silk because they're natural fibers that your body can breathe with. So the sweater is also a reminder that not everything will be smooth, but we can still survive and manage as it is. The sweater for me can serve as a reminder of what I've learned, how to navigate life, and how far I've come. It serves as a reminder of what we've learned, which is how to do life with more peace and less error. Nobody likes errors. Nobody likes mistakes. We don't like to go through them. We don't like when they happen to us because other people make choices and it affects our life. Reminder of a counselor who said he knew how to unravel his clients, but he didn't know how to get them back together again. And sometimes it's like that when we're pulling apart a sweater, and trying to remake the sweater is not always easy. So what about the deliberate pulling out of a garment that we've already shaped? In knitting terms, we call Froggit, which I almost think is like it's almost like instead of swearing, we say, "Oh, Froggit." In life, we have many choices. With the knitted garment, we may choose to go back and correct a mistake, pull apart, pick up a missed stitch, pull back on a few rows, or we may choose to leave the mistake hoping no one will notice. Boy, have you ever done anything in life like that? I remember when I was a kid and, you did something like stealing cookies from the cookie jar and hoping nobody notices, especially your mother. Hopefully she wasn't counting. Anyways, those are little things, but even as adults, we make mistakes and we kind of go through life and hope that nobody notices. But my mom used to say, the truth has a way of rising to the surface. And sure enough, there might have been a big span of time between the error and the truth rising to the surface, but it usually does come up. Anyway, so it's true, certainly in knitting, probably nobody will notice. I used to say to my girls, draw attention to your face and they won't notice the other seeming imperfections. So when you show your knitted garment to your friend, you don't say, "Yeah, but there's a mistake over here and a mistake here, and then I had to pull this out because there was a mistake here." And if you don't point it out, they might not notice. Just point out. I also like to say, accentuate the positive. So in life, we have many choices. With the knitted garment, we may choose to go back and correct it, or we may choose to leave the mistake hoping no one will see it. And it's true. No one, not usually, will notice. Sometimes we can change the design so the mistakes are thought to be deliberate part of the design. I knit a white shawl. I laid it down for a month or two, then thought, well, I should continue on with that, picked it up and couldn't remember how I knit it. So I continued on guessing and knitting, and I completed the project, but we had like 3 different kinds of stitch designs and angles and so forth. And my girlfriend said, it looks like it was meant to be that way, that you meant it to be that way. And I didn't. In fact, in one of the part of the design, it almost looked like a chevron going sideways. That was completely unintentional. Now, we can redo a design, fix a mistake. We could choose to leave it as it is and overlook it. There's one lady who appliqued a sheep over her mistake area. That was the only area of mistake, and so she just put something else over it. Anyways, not everything needs to be fixed, and that's a principle that we should remember in life and in relationship. Some things will need our attention, and some things we can learn to live with. Sometimes we're forced to, and other times it's a choice. We choose, okay, this is what I have, and I always say, how are you going to work with it? And you choose to live with it. You adjust. Our hope is that we get better and better as time goes on. We get more proficient. We get more excellent in our skills. That's true in knitting and in life. Our hope is that we have fewer mistakes as we go along. We always have a choice. So with our wrinkled wool, we can wash or even steam the wrinkles out. And we can make that extra effort after we've frogged it, make the extra effort to smooth out the wool, or we might just choose to knit with it as it is, which I do with this top, and I blocked it thinking all the wrinkles are going to come out, but it does affect tension. So we might, for me, this is serving as a reminder of what I've learned. I learned about blocking. I learned about different kinds of edging. I learned that my wrinkled wool can be dealt with before I re-knit with it. And so I learned things. So I'm keeping this as is, and I always say, you know what, this is my rustic sweater. Anything that doesn't quite turn out, I'm calling it my rustic sweater. So for me, that means like I'm living in the woods in a cabin. I have few resources and I'm putting them together. Doesn't matter how they turn out as long as they're functional. So that's for me, my rustic knitting. And I always remind myself that knitting's not supposed to be duplicating machine work. We're not machines. We're human beings. So the love and the attention and the attention that we give our items shows up in our work. And that's okay. It's like a signature of your soul. It's all right. So this sweater is serving as a reminder of what I've learned, and it still functions. It still works. And there are a lot of things in life that are like that. We might not get what we wanted. We may have made mistakes. We will make mistakes. But you learn to knit those things together in your life so that there is some advantage, some gain, something that you've learned or you've learned to cope with. Okay, what is a positive note in all this? In this life, you're going to have trouble, so you must well accept that and learn how to work with it. Learn how to knit it together, all the elements, so that you have a work that is like something you're really proud of. So, happy knitting! I added a Pico edge. You crochet this edge I added this to my sweater, my tank top. And I wanted to add it so that it could match the bottom edge, which I did in white. That's a I-cord binding on the edge. And if you look at my sweater, you can see the top portion was knit with recycled wrinkled wool. This portion is not. That was just straight wool. Then I pulled this out and it was wrinkled, and I knit with it again. And you see it changes the effect of things. This is my before. Long design. Shortened it up. Added some edging. Now I'm using the same tank top pattern and making few errors. Thanks again for watching. Let me know if you have any problems with wrinkles. P.S. How did I do my Pico edging on my sweater? Well, you insert your crochet hook, make a chain. Actually, that's a single crochet one. Then you chain 3. Then you go down into what I call the legs of that single crochet. Pull it up through, just slip it right on through. Go into the next space, single crochet, chain 3, down in through the center of that single crochet. So you pick up the 2 legs or go between it, pull your thread through, and slip it through the top of the chain 3. One more time, single crochet, chain 3, that creates the little loop on the top. Go down in through the single crochet and slip your wool through, and that's it.